What's up, everybody? Shiv here. Alright, so we're going to talk about the thing that people have Skyped me, messaged me, left me direct messages on Twitter, spammed my chat, and left me emails on. So Nox did Mechanics Workshop without me. He also designed all those cards without me. I had no design influence whatsoever. Thus, I had no business being on the show. Alright, so chillax. Everybody, stop the picnicking. No, me and Nox are not angry at each other. We're just very, very busy. Like, he's got his whole casting stuff he's doing. I'm managing a team. He's about to become Papa Nox here very soon. Alright, so our time is very stretched thin. But you know what? He was able to find the time to put together some of those cards and do a special holiday little treat for all of you. And I'm going to tell you right now, all those cards were fucking amazing with the exception of a couple, but I don't really want to bash on them. Though, more Murlocs, bad, scary. No. No. Moving on. So yeah, everything's cool there, guys. We might do more stuff later on, and we'll have to see. Timeline's up if you want to. If not, it's fine. But that did not stop me from creating stuff. I've actually been constantly creating stuff and sharing it with people here and there. Most of which just goes into my vault, just in case the day comes like Nox like, hey, let's do another Mechanics Workshop. What do you got? I have answers. And some of it I actually made more recently. So I'm going to open up the vault a little bit to some concepts and stuff that I've been making over the past few months. Alright, now the general theme here is, like, as I was selecting and crafting stuff, was try to keep it well within a specific theme, because I kind of want to keep it within themes. This is one thing that Nox always impressed upon me, alright, when we were doing any of our design stuff, as we were bouncing stuff back and forth, was always keep it thematic. Alright, so the theme here is wipes and fills, with a couple exceptions, and you'll see, but for the most part, wipes and fills. There will be no neutral cards. It's literally just 9 class cards. Alright? Now, I didn't do 2... Alright? Seriously. I could, but not all of them fit that theme, and it would just... It would be a little, like, too try hard to try to compete on that level. Alright? So, without further ado, let's get started. First card we have is for Ogrimmar! Which, by the way, there will be no flavor text for any of these guys. Sorry, that was always Nox's thing, and I just always came up with the witty repertoire and, you know, pop culture references for that shit. But that's always been him. Flavor text-wise, yeah, I love flavor text, but give me a break. Alright, so 6 mana for a spell. For each enemy minion, summon a 2/2 orc with taunt. Shiv, why didn't you just put Frostwolf Grunt? Because that would have made everything there look bloated, and no, I don't have to, and I didn't. So yeah, not to mention the fact when you look at Unleash the Hounds, it actually just says in there, you know, Hound with charge. So alright, so yeah, this is basically the warrior equivalent of Unleash the Hounds. Now that they've changed what Warsong Commander does, this card actually makes a lot more sense to bring into the game. Now that they've removed that, that opens up so much design space. The really cool thing here, and it's also one of the reasons why I had to increase the cost from 5 to 6, and it may need to come up one more, but is the fact that it works with Bolster. Yes, Bolster, you know, the thing that gives a plus to all taunts. Well, hey, now you fill the board with taunts and play Bolster. Why not? Makes sense. Alright, and that's a really solid wall, and there's only a few ways of actually dealing with that wall if you can pull that combination off. Light Bomb being one of them, Ox Circle another, Flame Strike, you know, there's Blade Furies, Twisting Nether. Okay, actually there's more than a few. But still, it would be a great defensive little combination, and you could also get down a Armorsmith down there, gain massive amounts of armor, because there's one thing I've learned. If you want to get a ton of armor, put him behind a taunt. So yeah, good times. So yeah, the card could be extremely powerful, but maybe not. It does come very, very late in the game. It also would be a really great tool to put in a Reno deck. Alright, moving on to the next card. Divine Storm. Deal 1 damage to an enemy character for each minion that died this turn. Okay, now this is kind of falls into the whole wipe and fill theme that I mentioned earlier, but not in the way that you would think about it. Alright, this is definitely a card you want to play in combination with 2 other cards, most notably either Equality and Wild Pyromancer or Equality and Consecration, because at that point you can do some serious damage. So yeah, and also when you consider the fact that Paladins are able to spam out a ton of fucking tokens and get like full boards, it's actually pretty cool. But read the card. Each minion, not just yours. So at max this has a possibility of doing 14 total damage. It's going to be difficult to pull off, but it could actually work. And so it might need a little bit balancing in cost-wise because of that, but it's still pretty damn impressive. It is using a mechanic that a lot of people really didn't like, the whole death for a reduction in mana cost. Well, I threw away the whole reduction in mana cost and just used it for pure fucking damage. You know, kind of a martyrdom sort of thing. Your death will empower us to greatness, which kind of sounds like a paladin thing in its own weird sort of cultist way. But yeah, so this definitely could be an interesting card. Definitely in a control deck, I would see maybe a one of. You're more mid-range, possibly too, if they're still running equalities. So yeah, it's one of those cards that works well in combination with other stuff, but on its own, it can still kind of pull its weight, but not overly much. I mean, the best scenario here is you go muster for battle, they go muster for battle, right? You trade and get rid of your minions and his minions, and then you can now hit their face for like 5-6 damage, give or take. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not great, but it has potential of being fucking ungodly. Alright, moving on. Oh, and before you ask, spell power does not increase this to deal 2 damage. It just adds +1 to the back end. Alright, moving on. Hunter's Choice. Okay, so here's one of the cards that really doesn't fit the theme. Because, well, Hunters, it was really hard to give them any other kind of tools than they already have. Because they've got, like, Explosive Shot, Power Shot, Explosive Trap. So they've got a lot of board wipe and board filled mechanics when you look at Unleash the Hound. So it was kind of difficult with them. So what I did instead was I jumped completely out of that thematic theme. Forgive me, Nox. And instead, I went with something that I always felt would be a really cool idea. And I actually thought of this idea as I was going to 7-Eleven. Now, living in America, one of the things I've learned is going to the convenience store, while convenient, generally costs you more. And that's what this is going to do. So there's going to be many times when you're playing Hearthstone where you're going to be in a situation where getting that one spell that your class has would have made the difference between winning and losing. Alright? Sometimes that's going to be a Hunter's Mark, which ideally would probably be the most apt spell to grab with this. Sometimes it might have been an Explosive Shot, maybe another kill command. Insert scenario here, alright? And that could actually win you the game. Alright? So, yeah, that seems like a really cool idea, but you gotta pay an extra little bit for it. Because you gotta play this. Now, there are something like 27 Hunter spells, if memory serves, in the game. So the way this would work is, like, literally, it would either bring up, like, the Hunter book page, and you'd basically go through and pick which one you want, just have it, like, list on spells. Or for those who are using, you know, iPhones and whatnot, it would literally just put, like, all the spells in, you know, ascending order, and you could just, you know, tap, 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 you know, just go through the list, pick the one you want, boom, click that, goes in your hand. There you go. Alright? Real simple to do. By the way, if you got a really shitty phone, sucks to be you. So, yeah, it's a card that definitely could work. It would require a slight UI tweak to the game, but not an overtly big one. Alright? But yeah, this is definitely one of those cards of convenience of choice when you need it. But you will pay more for it. But if it leads to you winning, are you really upset about having to pay 3 mana more for the thing that led to your victory? I'm not. Little side note, it's a 3 mana spell, which means you can get it off Jeweled Scarab, so hey, that's kind of cool too. Jeweled Scarab to get this thing you actually needed. Yeah, that's a little bit of like Discovery Inception in its own weird sort of way, but meh, whatever. Alright, moving on. The Syndicate Hijacker. Now, the Syndicate is actually part of the World of Warcraft lore that generally doesn't really get talked about that much. Yes, they're being hunted by Sylvanas Windrunner. They're the enemy of the Horde and the fucking Alliance, even though at one time they were working for the Horde, but it's a long fucking story. You can mostly find them hanging around, not too far away from where the Defiances are, to be perfectly honest with you. Anywho, moving on. So the Syndicate Hijacker actually takes care of a problem that I've noticed in rogues for quite some time. They don't steal shit. I'm not kidding. They don't steal shit. Priests steal shit. The class of holy healing and devotion steals shit left and right. But the class you would expect to steal stuff doesn't do shit. So I fixed that. So we got a 5 mana 4/5 here. Death Rattle. Return a random enemy minion to your hand. Okay, so the really cool thing about this is there are many scenarios where you can use this to do a 2-for-1 trade sort of deal. You sacrifice this into something, killing it, and you take like the other minion and it comes to your hand. Now you could also play that next turn, most likely, or that turn if you've got the mana to do it, and end up getting that minion. That could be kind of cool, guys. That could be really cool. That definitely fits in that whole tempo rogue theme, and that's pretty fucking amazing if you think about it. Alright, moving on to the next one we've got is Entangle. Yes, because nothing is more annoying than fucking druids with AoE. Wait, no, they don't really have an AoE. My bad. Alright, so Entangle. Deal your hero's attack. Oh god, Shiv, did you really take... Yes, I did. I took Savagery and applied it to a fucking AoE where it made a lot more sense. Get over it. Alright, so, yeah. Druids generally have to rely on things like swipe, and that's about it for most of their general plays in dealing with board. Well, if you had Entangle, wouldn't you want to use this? I mean, when you think about it, the Savage Combatant alone can give your hero power 3 attack. Am I the only one who's missing this? Not to mention, there's also Claw and Bite, so you can definitely do some really cool combinations to wipe boards because of that. And yeah, it'd be cool, but most of the time it's going to be a dead card in your hand until you can set that up. But when you do, it's going to allow for you to push through and possibly win the game, because as life and this game has taught me, sometimes you just have to have a board reset. That's why they invented Twisting Nethers, why they invented Light Bombs, why they invented Deathwing. You just have to have a board reset. So yeah, this is using the mechanic that's kind of fail on Savagery and actually makes it somewhat good. Surprisingly enough. Moving on. Alright, Demonic Reclamation, 7 mana spell. What the fuck? For Warlock, holy shit. Alright. Summon a Voidwalker for each friendly minion that died this game. Okay, so if you're playing this in Zoo, you're never not going to have a board state. If you're playing this in a Reno lock, you're probably not going to get overly great value out of it, but you'll get some value, and it's going to be a defensive value that'll allow you a little bit more time to pull to your Reno and or your gimmick that's going to allow you to win to the game. But in the case of fucking Zoo or even Demo Zoo, holy shit, could this be fucking disgusting. But it is 7 mana. I mean, there are a lot of really cool shit you'd much rather... Okay, let's be honest. There's Dr. Boom that you'd much rather play than this fucking thing. But this is a defensive option. Alright? So if you want to go full fucking Demo AIDS, right? This could be really disgusting. Really disgusting. So, I like the card. It is definitely fun. It's not completely unreasonable to fill your board every single time with this card. Alright? Actually, it might be a little too cheap. I may have to raise this up to fucking 10. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section what you think, guys. Alright. Totemic Overload. Alright, so when it comes to board wipes, you know, a lot of classes have, you know, like AoEs and board wipes and plethoras. You know, Priest, technically Mage, and several other classes. Oh, Warlock. That's who I was falling over on. Alright, so Shaman is one that has like one of the best AoEs and then has one of the most powerful AoEs. Now, they all come at a really huge cost. Well, this one's going to be kind of similar. When you look at the Shaman's, you know, overload mechanic, that's kind of like buying something with a credit card. You buy it now, you get to take it and use it, but you got to pay for it later. Well, I'm dirt poor, so I wanted to kind of make something based on the layaway program. You know, that program that, you know, poor people use because they can't get a credit card. And here you go. You're literally using your totems as a mana battery, but they have to survive in order for this to work. So the idea here is have a bunch of totems, clear the board, but read the card very specifically. You could actually use your totems, have them die that turn, and still blow the board and get that full value. Yeah, rogues are sitting there going, wait, what? You know, so yeah, it's literally taking certain elements of Blade Fury and applying it to Shaman, and oh, look at that, Shaman could do some pretty nasty stuff. Now, this might be actually a little too powerful. I didn't really have a lot of time to put a lot of thought on this. This one was literally created about an hour ago, and I had yet to run it through my mind of testing, but most likely it would have to basically work on, you know, destroy and deal 2 damage per. In order to be a little bit more balanced, because as it stands now, especially with, you know, the Totem Golem and Flame Tongue Totem, there's been a lot of power coming into the totems. So yeah, putting this on top of that, not to mention the fact you can get away with, you know, going Bloodlust, all your totems like go and trade off, and whenever they don't fucking kill, you finish up the rest of the board with Totemic Overload and just wipe it the fuck out. I mean, in theory, you can do 14 damage to a minion. That's enough to take out Deathwing. Though, in all honesty, if you have a board full of totems and Deathwing is out, something really wonky happened in that game. Just saying. Like, maybe you got it off Paltris or something. I don't know. But no, this is definitely a card that could use some more testing and balancing, maybe taking it up to 3. But at that point, would you take this over, say, a Lightning Storm? Yeah. Depends. Really does depend, guys. But I like the whole layaway program system, which works very well with totems because, well, most people ignore totems. True fact. Alright, moving on. Now we're getting to the epics. And, okay, so Priest was a class, when it came to wipes, they have a plethora of them in spades. Holy shit. So my option was either give them a board fill, which I did not feel comfortable with doing, because the one thing that came to mind was Light Wardens, and oh fuck no. Or create something that had a huge amount of RNG based on it that fit thematically with them. And so what I came up with was Leap of Faith. Reveal a minion in each deck. Yes, I put it behind a fucking joust mechanic. Why? Because I had to figure a way of not making it super expensive. Reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, destroy all enemy minions. This is literally, as the name says, a leap of faith. It's the fucking esports luck shot RNG fucking pray to the gods play. Alright? Now, is this good? Is it Light Bomb better? In many ways, yes, Light Bomb is far superior. But Light Bomb doesn't deal with high health minions. And this one, well, it's a chance it'll work. Chance. You know? So, it could be cool. Could be cool. Alright. So the last card we got, and this one I actually retooled and redid. It was a totally different card months back when I came up with the idea, and I've retooled it. So here we go. The Mana Bomb! 10 mana. Destroy all your minions. Discard your hand and set both heroes' remaining health to 50. Gee, let's take a wild guess who what specific minion this is targeting. Which is kind of funny when you think about it, because it was a mana bomb that destroyed the city that Jaina was in and caused her like all this kind of heartache in, you know, Mists of Pandaria. And Jaina once had a relationship with Reno Jackson and now kind of dislikes him. Yeah, I could see her using this on him. I honestly could. Oh, maybe that's why I made it a mage spell. Anywho, so yeah, I literally took the abilities of 2 legendaries, Deathwing and Alexstrasza, combined them together. The negative of Deathwing still applies, and I also added another negative of the setting your own life to 15 as well. So yeah, this is pretty much, well, for those of you who played Magic the Gathering back in the day, this is literally Wrath of God Armageddon combination put together on 1 card. Except there's no crystal destruction. You know, sorry guys, it's the best I could do. But you know, it could be a fun card. Would I ever use it? Oh fuck no. But oh man, if this ever fucking got used in a tournament, you'd see like Reddit posts for miles on it. It's like, oh my god, that card is so broken. In many ways, this card is broken. This is like, haha, I'm going to be rich. Haha, you're back to being poor. You know, many a times I've seen many games go down to Reno Jackson sealing the deal, and there was nothing the opponent could do about it because he literally wasted everything getting him to that point, and then Reno just wrecks everything. Well, here's your counter to Reno. So yeah. But it does come at a slight gamble. I mean, you literally are tossing your hand. So putting this in like a handlock deck, ooh, or not handlock deck, but a freeze mage deck, no. Getting this off of, say, Spell Slinger, ooh, that's gonna feel real wonky, guys. That's gonna feel real wonky. But it could be quite amazing. And let us not forget that Emperor Thurzan does exist, so getting a reduction on this is possible, but let's also not forget that it does discard your hand. You just got a reduction on this stuff. Do you really want to just throw it all away? No, not really. So, but it's that, you know, nuclear launch sort of deterrent thing. You know, when all else fails, nuke it. I guess that's more of an American mentality on it. But fuck it, it's Hearthstone. Anyway, so that's all the cards. So down in the comment section down below, leave me your thoughts. Let me know which cards you liked. Let me know which cards you thought were OP. Let me know, you know, pretty much whatever the fuck you want to tell me, guys. Till then, stay safe, have fun. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and be sure to share this with all your friends. And as always, may our Jesus bless you.